Welcome! In this video we'll be finding the area of a regular polygon given its side length, part 2. Let's take a look at our example. Example: find the area of a regular polygon shown below. Let's take a look at what we're given. Notice that we know that each one of the side lengths is equal to 6 square root of 3. Also, let's count the number of sides. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're dealing with the regular hexagon, which means that n is equal to 6. And we can also say that the side length is equal to 6 square root of 3. With that said, we can go ahead and figure out what is the perimeter. Perimeter is equal to the number of sides times the side length. So in this case, we have 6 times 6 square root of 3, which is simply 36 square root of 3 units. Okay, so we already have the perimeter. Now we need to figure out the area. In order to figure out the area, we would need to figure out what is the apothem. In this case, in order to figure out the value of the apothem, what we need to do is come up with the value for the measure of each one of those interior angles. Remember that we can figure out the sum of interior angles by using the formula 180 times n minus 2. So we can say here, sum of interior angles it's equal to 180 times n minus 2. And in our case, n is equal to 6, so let's go ahead and substitute that in. So we have 180 times 6 minus 2, which becomes 180 times 4. And 180 times 4 will give us the 720 degrees. So that's the sum of all interior angles in here. But let's go ahead and figure out what is the measure for 1. So each interior angle would measure 720 degrees divided by the number of interior angles here, which is 6, which in turn becomes 120 degrees. Okay, so each one of those particular angles is 120 degrees, okay? With that said, we can now trace the actual apothem here. So remember, the apothem, it's the segment that goes from the center of your polygon to one of the bases in a perpendicular way. So I'm going to trace here this apothem, and I know that this has to be a 90-degree angle. Okay, so this is my apothem, and I need to figure out what is the value there. Now, what we're going to do, it's simply trace another segment. In this case, I'm going to trace the radius. The radius, it's going to go from this vertex to the center of the hexagon in this case. And notice that by doing so, we're bisecting this angle here. So this angle is now going to become 60 degrees. Okay, let me go ahead and extract this little triangle that I just formed in order to be able to see all the information that we have there. So here we have this right triangle. I know here's my apothem. This is my 90-degree angle here, and this is going to be 60 degrees. Now notice that the entire side length here, it's equal to 6 square root of 3. So this tiny base, it's half of that. So I can argue, let me change colors for you here. We can argue that this little base is going to be half of 6 square root of 3, so that's just 3 square root of 3. So let's go ahead and write that over here as well. And now our job is to figure out what is that value for A. Notice since we're dealing with the special right triangle here, we have a 90-degree angle, a 60-degree angle. This has to be the 30-degree angle. We have a special relationship. We know that the leg across from your 30-degree angle, the leg across from the 30-degree angle is going to be x. Then the leg across from your 60-degree angle is going to be x square root of 3. And then the hypotenuse is always going to be 2 times x. Since we already know that x is equal to 3 square root of 3, we can say that the apothem is going to be equal to 3 square root of 3 times square root of 3. Now let's simplify this. This is equal to 3 times the square root of 3 times 3 is 9. And the square root of 9 is 3, so we have 3 times 3, which in turn becomes 9. Okay, so now we have the value for the apothem. Hence, we can actually figure out the area by using the formula area equals 1/2 times perimeter times the apothem. And let's replace what we know. We have area equals 1/2 times the perimeter. The perimeter we said was 36 square root of 3 units. So we can say that's times 36 square root of 3 units times the apothem, which we found it to be 9 units. Now let's go ahead and simplify this product. We have that the area is equal to half of 36 is 18 times the square root of 3 times units times 9 units. And now let's multiply the 18 by the 9. 18 times 9 is 162. So we have area equals 162 times the square root of 3 times units, which become units squared. Hence, we can say the following. Therefore, the area of the regular hexagon, in this case, is 162 times the square root of 3 square units. And that's how we find the area of a regular polygon given its side lengths. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.